and welcome to the Lenovo Work Reborn podcast, where we explore how technology, AI, and cybersecurity are reshaping the way we work. This segment of our tour, we are back at it again, live in London, interviewing top IT leaders. Each episode, we're going to bring you insights from real leaders and industry experts on how organizations can navigate today's challenges and unlock tomorrow's opportunities. From making sense of complex data, to simplifying IT environments, to delivering real business outcomes, Lenovo is helping businesses of every size reimagine what's possible. Join us as we dive into the future of work. Work Reborn. Let's go. Hey, David, how are you?
I am well. How are you, Rita?
I'm doing good. Welcome back to the Work Reborn
Thank you.
podcast.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a lot of fun.
It's been so much fun. This is our second time in London, right?
It is. It
Right.
is, yeah. Just wrapping up 3 days.
Wrapping up 3 days of an exciting initiative here with Lenovo's Cybersecurity and Security Services. This is a pretty new venture for Lenovo, isn't that right?
It is, yeah, it really is. And so we're really putting that emphasis on the security services side of things. Of course, we've had, our brand ThinkShield that provides the great security for the devices and stuff. But now we also do the managed services around it. So the Lenovo Security Services is where we're driving to.
So David, for those who haven't heard our podcast before, this is maybe the first time they've heard us talking, give us a little bit of insight, just briefly, about who you are and the work you're doing as a Lenovian.
Yeah, so David Vestal, and I am the Senior Manager for Worldwide Product Marketing in our Digital Workplace Solutions team. So I handle all of the thought leadership side of things, which is the Work Reborn initiative, which is what this podcast is all about. So from a Work Reborn, what we've done is we've interviewed 600 IT professionals around the globe to get their insights on where are they in their digital workplace transformation, and how are they helping to drive a positive employee experience, providing the hyper-personalization that's needed. How are they addressing the security market with the rise of AI and the attacks that AI can have. So we've got 3 reports that we have released so far. So this week we're talking about the security report. 4th one's going to be on change management, and we're going to release that around the first part of December timeframe.
The 4th one on change management, I feel, is going to be one of the most important so far, in my opinion, due to the fact that we had the 600 from the report, and I would add the 40 from the week that I've spoken to this week, senior leaders that we've had.
Yeah.
There is a huge concern around how to implement all of these systems and processes. And not only that, who's in charge? Because the roles are changing. We found that from the report.
It is.
What do you think of how Lenovo will be involved in as a partner for potentially interested businesses in that change management? How do you think we could be a key player and help for businesses?
Well, and so I think you're exactly right. I mean, change management and how they implement and deliver and deploy this is a key concern that folks have. It could be from skills gap to time that they don't have, right? There's a whole host of reasons. And so this report is uncovering some of the challenges that enterprises are facing when doing this, the problems that they may see inside with their organization. So Lenovo is here to help, from our professional services, from our advisory, from our deployment and implementation, from making it easier all the way, with the steps. So our Care of One platform is an Agentic AI delivery platform that can automate a lot of those mundane tasks and help really make it simple for organizations to make this change. And it works on 3 different persona levels: persona identification, persona configuration, and persona orchestration. So that way employees can get, based on their persona, the right device, the right services, the right support that meet for them. And that really helps out when organization from their change management side.
It sounds simple, but it's actually very important.
It's very important.
Because when we think about some of the things that I've heard, in the report that we've worked on as a team at Lenovo, there is a huge push for AI, but there's a big concern around, do we really even know what that is? And how are businesses going to handle that transition from one thing to another? And I really feel that we are an amazing option, not because of just being Lenovo, but because of the partnerships that we have as well. Can you
Exactly.
speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, you're exactly right. And the latest report, and you just referenced it, right, is talking about the security and the rise of AI and the security threats that could happen. And so this report uncovers some of those challenges and concerns that IT professionals have. And one of the more shocking things that I think came out of that report is roughly 90% of those that were surveyed, and these were CISOs and senior leaders of IT, feel like their organization is not ready to handle those threats. So that requires a lot of work and a lot of new implementations. And one of the best ways to do that could be partnering with someone that has that experience. And at Lenovo, we definitely have that experience. We have an ecosystem of partners as well that are experts in the security side. And so I think that we can be that trusted partner for an organization as they are looking at how to battle the next wave of cyber attacks. Because just managing it how they used to is not going to be enough. So AI has changed all of that.
I have an answer to this, but I want to hear yours because I'm just curious. Something that's been really interesting to me as we wrap up these past few days is hearing about the new evolutions and what's next past AI, past even generative AI, which last sessions that we did in the last London, podcast recording tour that we did, was like a big topic.
It was.
The fact that I'm hearing quantum computing and like data encryption and listen, it's not a secret that I'm not an IT security expert and a lead in an organization, but from a business side, this is a really big deal.
It is. And I think, people don't know what they don't know.
Right.
Right. And so now, how is quantum AI going to, impact this? We know that cyber attacks from generative AI and agentic AI can make it's a lot easier using those tools to be able to continuously attack versus just the old hacker ways that happen. So what are the advances going to be from a quantum AI side of things? Which is why, this report, I think, is important to talk about those types of challenges and then the steps that we would outline, that we think organizations do need to take in order to help battle that. And it's really using AI to battle AI.
Right. And that was actually one of the biggest takeaways for me is that cybersecurity, because of all of these advancements that are coming in, should be an investment rather than as an afterthought, as a result of these changes coming in because of how complex these new programs are at potentially causing business interruption and loss and all of the things that we've been seeing in the report.
Well, the data loss prevention is a top concern for any organization, whether that's internal or customer data. And, with all the regulatory things that are around, especially in EMEA, right, that could really impact and sink a company if they're not safeguarding that. So they have to try to stay that one step ahead, and using the AI to help battle the AI is going to be a key tool that they need to do. But again, a lot of folks just don't know what they don't know yet because you're entering into a new realm.
So let's talk about what's next, our report coming up, and maybe a couple things, some ideas that we have for our show and moving forward. So what's next is the change management.
Correct.
Right? Talk to me a little bit about why that topic was chosen for the research and how we're planning on highlighting it the next time around.
So we have 3 reports that we've published. We've looked at, where people stand in their journey to the digital workplace and digital transformation. We talked about how they needed to try to implement or challenges they had from an implementation and being able to do it. We're talking about the security side. And so this 4th report's kind of the summation, right, of everything that we've talked about over the last 8 months in this new report, and how do organizations need to go about that to have the effective change to drive the better employee experience and the hyper-personalization that's needed to stay ahead of the AI threats that are going to happen from a security side of things. So that's what this 4th report's going to be all about.
And should we tease our next podcast location? Are we allowed
We
to do that?
should,
Where are we going next on tour?
So we will be in Orlando.
We're going to Disney World.
We are. We're going to
Just
Disney
kidding.
World.
I've always wanted to say that on a podcast.
We're going to Disney World. That's right.
Professionally, we are going to an Orlando.
We are. So we'll be at the Gartner IT Expo down in Orlando in October. And then we're also going to be at the Gartner IT Expo in Barcelona in November.
Yes.
So we'll be bringing this podcast and listening to industry experts and thought leaders to get their input on on where are they in their change? Where are they in their digital transformation? How do they relate to the findings that have been in the report and sharing their insights? So this has been very valuable, I think, to get that and for them to be able to share it with their peers. And so, yeah, this podcast has been excellent for that.
I'm looking forward to evolving the show and being
Absolutely.
a go-to resource for any of you who are listening. Another big theme and feedback that I've gotten from those who have sat in our hot seat or red seat over here is that they're interested in learning, but they need more use cases. They need
do.
more practical applications
They
of
do.
how these innovations and new developments are going to impact their business. So hopefully we can bring on some thought leaders that will help with that
Absolutely.
a bit as well,
Yeah,
too.
I think so. Because some of the ones that have read the report ahead of time and then came on, I was really encouraged by listening to them say, this is spot on, right? This is exactly the
We did hear
types
that.
of things that they're going to need. We did. We heard it from a few people, this week. So I think that this report and this Work Reborn mindset is really resonating with the IT professional. So I'm excited, to continue that. And we're going to continue it into 2026 and
go.
beyond. So everybody will have to look out for what's next.
So I am going to spin the last question on you
Right.
that you always ask me to ask people that we put in the report.
Oh, boy.
What
Yep.
does Work Reborn mean to you?
It means a new way of doing things. It's about putting that employee at the center. It's about making sure that they have the tools to be productive. It's making sure that they have the tools to be innovative. If there are mundane tasks that your team is spending half their time on doing, but you can do this through AI and the right tools and the right configuration of the hardware and the software that they need, they're going to be more productive. They're going to be more happy. They're going to be more likely to stay in the job because they're feeling like they're being supported. And so the advent of AI with Gen AI and Agentic AI has really made that a lot easier for everyone to adapt. So that's why we chose the title Work Reborn. And work is always going to happen. We've been doing things a certain way, but now it's how do we do it again? How do we make ourselves reborn in that workplace to be that, more productive, to be that, next generation.
Right. The next generation is already here.
It is.
So if any of you hear that and are a bit concerned about what to do with that information, you have two things you can do. One, you can contact the team at Lenovo to help you
Absolutely.
get there. Or two, if you're not quite ready to do that, make sure that you stay subscribed and follow us on our podcast and download the latest report if you haven't already.
That's right.
You can scan it via the QR code somewhere on the screen here, or if you're listening to the podcast, click it via the link in the show notes below, and we'll catch you on our next
And
stop
make sure
on
you
our
follow.
tour.
All right,
and make
don't
sure you
just
follow.
listen. Just make sure you follow.
Make
Exactly.
sure, or else he'll be mad at you. Okay, just kidding. All right, we really appreciate you
Yep.
guys. Thank you so much, and that'll be a wrap for
Thank
today.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
David.
you.
Thank you for listening to the Lenovo Work Reborn podcast. To learn more about how Lenovo is helping organizations transform with AI, cybersecurity, and smarter IT solutions, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next conversation. And also, we'd love to hear from you. Make sure to leave a comment with any other questions that you would like us to discuss on our next episodes. See you next time.
Lenovo.